This is Sandakan, Borneo. So welcome to Sandakan, the second largest city in Borneo, and it's a jumping off point for lots of tourists to visit the jungles of Borneo. This is precisely why we're here. We arrived here this morning and we went to Sepilok to see the Sun Bear Conservation Centre and the Orangutan Conservation Centre, and tomorrow we're going even deeper into the jungle to spend a couple of nights at a wilderness camp where we'll hopefully see lots of animals in the wild and just experience a jungle camp, which should be super fun. So Borneo is one of the most wildlife rich areas in the world, and it's also one of the only two islands where you can see orangutans. The other one is Sumatra in Indonesia, and we did see an orangutan today, but that was at the orangutan sanctuary. So let's rewind to earlier today and I will show you around both the orangutan sanctuary and the sun bear sanctuary. So we're in Sepilok, which is how we've just learnt to pronounce it. We were saying Sepilok before, but correct Malaysian way is Sepilok, and we've come to the Sun Bear Conservation Centre. Now, sun bears are the smallest bear in the world. They're found primarily in all over Southeast Asia, but a lot of them are found in Borneo. But they are endangered, and the Sun Bear Conservation Centre aims to rehabilitate orphaned or injured or sun bears that have been used as pets and release the ones that can be released back into the wild. Obviously some of them cannot be released back into the wild because of the way they've been treated or if they're injured or anything like that, so it does offer a permanent home to those bears as well. They're also known for their love of honey, and in Malaysia their name actually translates to honey bears. So that was interesting. I was just chatting to a lady who works here, and she was saying that they started building the centre in 2008, but they didn't actually open to the public until 2014. They've taken in 69 bears so far, and they've released 12 of them back into the wild, but obviously a lot of them are so damaged, unfortunately, that they can't be released back into the wild, but they do have a permanent home here, which is a very, it's their natural habitat. It's a nice, they've got lots and lots of space, so it is a good compromise. He said, yeah, lots of them are rescued from being pets or in like very bad conditions in zoos, but some are being sold on the black market as well, so they take all of those in and give them a much better home here. So we were going to go to the cafe at the Orangutan Rehabilitation Centre for lunch, but the cafe is also shut until 2. So we've just walked down the road to Sepilok Nature Resort, and this is such a lush resort. It's right on the edge of the lake, and it's just full of greenery, full in the jungle. And it's just one of those places that feels almost a little bit like reclaimed by the forest. And they've got a really nice restaurant here. I've ordered vegetable rendang, which is a Malaysian curry, for the first time since I've been here, so I'm very excited for that. We've got some juices, and we might even have a cheeky little espresso martini here before heading up to the Orangutan Centre as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
We've just ordered the world's largest espresso martinis.
Yeah, we have.
Let's finish off our lunch. Cheers! So we've arrived at the Orangutan Sanctuary, which is literally just over the road from the Sun Bear Sanctuary. They do recommend that you leave your camera and other belongings in the locker, so I'm gonna do that because I don't want a monkey stealing my camera. Both sanctuaries were absolutely incredible, but seeing the orangutan that close and just seeing how it interacted with its baby and how it fed and how the baby was climbing everywhere, it was really, really special. So entry to the Sun Bear Conservation Centre was 50 ringgit, and entry to the Orangutan Conservation Centre was 30 ringgit, which is very affordable, really. The lunch was amazing as well, so all around it was a great day in Sepilok. So we have actually got to go back to Sepilok tomorrow, but even though we do, we aren't staying there tonight, and that is because there's limited accommodation in Sepilok. It's quite small, and the accommodation that there was it was either expensive or it was dorm rooms, and we didn't want to pay loads and loads, and we also didn't want to stay in a dorm, so there was much more accommodation options in Sandakan, which is about a 25-minute drive away, so it's not too bad. And we're actually staying in this apartment in Sandakan for £6 each per night, so it's £30 in total. There's 5 of us, 3-bedroom apartment. I've got my own like little single room. The other 2 and 2 are sharing, and it's a really nice place. Let me show you our view. It will be really interesting to see how far we actually travel tomorrow, because as you can see, the jungle is right here. Like, it is a very jungly place, and today we were really on the edge of the jungle when we were at the orangutan and some of their conservation centres. Sandakan is the jumping off point for travellers who are going to these places, and they're picking us up from Sepilok, but yeah, they're very, very close to each other. But then we do travel in a bus for a bit, I believe, and then we travel up a river. So it'll be interesting to see how far we actually go and how deep into that jungle we go, because as you can see, there's sort of jungle, city, beach. Honestly, this place has it all. It is the next day and we are back in Sepilok. So last night we just went out for some dinner and juice down by the beach. The restaurant we went to was actually called The Beach, like D''Beach. Not the most amount of vegetarian options. I ordered some spicy aubergine, which is actually a Chinese dish that I've eaten loads in China. That was really, really good. And then I also ordered some mix like spinach, but the mix was spinach and some seafood, so I had to pick the seafood out. But that was fine. The rest of the girls had like prawn noodles, chicken in sauce and rice and that kind of thing. So yeah, it was pretty good. Then we went back to the apartment where we were staying and went to sleep. And now we're here, back in Sepilok. So now we are going to Uncle Tan's. So Uncle Tan's is a jungle camp. It's been running for like the 90s, I think, so like 3 decades now. So basically you stay there and you do loads of like jungle hiking, jungle boat trips, trekking, and we're hoping to see orangutans, proboscis monkeys, pygmy elephants, crocodiles, which I'm not sure about, I don't really like crocodiles, and yeah, an array of other animals, and obviously lots and lots of plants. Like, it will be lovely to just be in the jungle for a bit as well. So we're meeting them here at Sepilok Orangutan Sanctuary, which is where we were yesterday, and then getting on a bus for a bit, and then I think we're getting on a boat up the Kinabatangan River, which is where you see all the wildlife, and heading to camp. So let's go find this bus.
What, for Carmyle? Yeah, no, funny.
So we just did an 1.5-hour drive in this van. Not too bad, it was a little bit windy at one point, but I should have out the window. And now we are getting in one of these boats behind me, and I think it's about 1.5 hours on the river as well. So we've arrived in Uncle Tan's. It was about a 2-hour boat ride to get here in the end, but we've arrived and it is the most glorious jungle camp. It is literally in the thick of the jungle. Our boat captain told us that there are no other tourists around, and it's even really quite far from the local villages, so we do feel like we're really isolated, but in a very good way. I'll show you around the campsite in the morning. We've had a briefing, we know all of our activities. We've got 5 activities in total, 1 tonight and 4 tomorrow. Looking forward to it. We're currently toasting with a beer. Cheers! Before our night safari tonight. Yay. The food, it looks unreal. Got a plate of it here. I've got like pumpkin stew, aubergine dish, cabbage dish. It's amazing. Most of it is vegetarian. There's 1 meat dish, so plenty for me to eat. We're just married dog mums on our holidays.
Not sure where we're going to have.
It's not bad though, is it?
Nah.
And it might be even worse tomorrow, that's all I'm thinking. It did stop for a bit. Positive thinking. So I was really determined to not cancel the 9 PM boat trip, so I persuaded everyone that the rain wasn't too bad. We went out for about 2 minutes and it was bad. We had to abort mission. We came back to the hut, just had another beer, and now we are in our little tent. I don't want to speak too soon, but the rain does seem to be getting a little bit better, but we're just laughing so much at all of us right now. All 5 of us are in this one hut, all with mattresses and mozzie nets, so hopefully we will get some sleep. As someone with an overactive bladder, I'm a little bit nervous about this because I can already feel that I need the toilet again, but hopefully I'll get a few hours at least. Anyway, I'll check back in the morning.
Might you just hear it bursting now. Oh, there's my case. Come on, monkey. In the net. Oh.
Alright, I think I'm ready for bed. So achy. Good morning. We have all had an absolutely stunning 1 hour of sleep. And now we're off on a river safari, but hopefully we will see some animals. This is the time that they are most active before it gets too hot, so it's the best time to see them, so fingers crossed.
This is the smallest kingfisher we have in Borneo. And here we have 6 different species of kingfisher. And this is the smallest, we call a blue-eared kingfisher. Now they go hunting the fish.
We're taking a boat up one of the tributaries where hopefully we'll see some more wildlife on the other side.
The monkey, this is a silver lip, like a mohawk. You know mohawk? Mohawk.
So we saw some proboscis monkeys on the boat trip earlier. No orangutans yet, but fingers crossed we will later. Now we're on a bush walk. So this just goes from the campsite. We're walking for about 2 hours, but lots and lots of stops on the way. We're talking about different plants in the rainforest and how people have survived here for thousands of years. So it's really fascinating. We're learning about all different properties that different plants have and how they can be used as food and medicine.
High blood pressure and gout. You can collect the young leaf. After that you boil. You boil and then you drink the water like a tea. Tapatinong. Call this a patinong. Jungle spinach. If you lost in the jungle, you run out the food, you run out the water. The food you can collect from this. If you want to collect the rattan, you take off the skin first. After that, to collect rattan. Rattan chair is very. If you have one rattan chair, you can use for a long time.
Thank you. We've just climbed up a very, very, very steep hill, absolutely covered in mud and sweat. And our guide has gone to look for orangutan, so we're just waiting for him to come back.
I am as well.
Emma took a tumble. So jungle trek is complete. It was really good. We saw loads and loads of different plants, learnt loads about them, like some plants that could be used for medicine, some that can be used for food, and some that you should not touch because they are poisonous. And yeah, it was cool just to get into the thick of the jungle. We did see one monkey. We tried to look for orangutans, but we couldn't find any, unfortunately, but fingers crossed we will on our last boat trip of the day. So I did take a little bit of a tumble as we were coming back to the camp, and it was incredibly muddy. So after lunch, which again was delicious, by the way, the food here is incredible, went to try out the shower facilities. It is just a bucket and a big bucket of water and then a little bucket, and then you just pour it over yourself. But actually it worked quite well. I do feel a lot cleaner now. So I thought I would just do a little campsite tour now to show you around the whole place and show you what it is like to stay in this camp in the Bornean jungle. We've got another boat trip at about 5 p.m. At the moment it is, what time is it now? At the moment it's 2:30. So yeah, I've got 2.5 hours of just chill time. So I'm going to do a bit of filming and then hopefully get some time to just relax and read my book for a little bit, because it's a beautiful place to do it in. So behind me is the jetty, and this is where we first arrived at Unported yesterday. So you can see the boats there, and then you just climb onto the jetty and climb up to where I'm standing now. So the Kidderbatangan River is just behind me, and this is like the lifeblood of this area basically. Uncle Tan's sits on it. We used it yesterday for transport. I believe people use it for fishing. Obviously they've been using it for tourism because they've been doing boat trips up and down. So I think without the river this place would be a lot less accessible. Not as scenic but quite interesting. This is the generator, if you can see it, and then just behind me where all the electrics are, and that powers at camp, but they tend to only have the power on for 6 hours per day in the evening, so 6 p.m. till midnight, and that's the only time you can charge devices, and it's also the only time lights are on. Obviously at the moment they don't need them on. They do, however, have it running now because they're doing some construction work. They've got the generator on just to be able to operate that. So from the jetty, you come down into the main camp. So let me go show you around there. So as you might be able to guess, Uncle Tan is named after a man called Tan. Sadly, he is no longer with us, but this has been going since the 90s. So he founded it then, and they've kept it running till today. So once you get through from the jetty, there is a volleyball court here and a football court here. And then this is the main lounge dining area. There's one toilet down there. I don't know if you can see it, it's quite well camouflaged. This building here, they call it the emergency toilet, but it is also the nearest toilet to the dining area. They are sit-down toilets. They're not composting, but they have, like, you flush them just with buckets of water. So there's no, like, flush system, but you can flush them.
$1964.
So we get all of our meals included, and I think I already mentioned that they are delicious, and tea and coffee are also included, and you can get that any time of day. But if you want a soft drink, beer or also water is also chargeable. So soft drinks and water costs 3 ringgit and beer costs 11 ringgit, I believe. So there's a little jungle bar where you can buy things like that as well. Right here is the kind of briefing area. So here is where we first got our camp briefing. You can also sit around here in the evening, of course. There's a little board up here where when people leave they write the animals that they saw. And there's a little library here which has lots of books about Bornean animals and plants. Because did you know Borneo is the most biodiverse area in the world? So you can hear the construction work going on in the background. There was actually quite bad flooding here this year, and the water came up to, let's see a marker, basically at the level where the cabins were, where the sofas were. They came up that far, like 2 meters high above camp, and we're already high above the river, so that is quite the flood. And they basically, a lot of the cabins that people sleep in and the toilets were damaged, so they're doing quite a lot of construction work at the moment just to get everything sorted as quickly as possible. So this is one of the rooms that has been made up for guests that are coming today. I just heard there's 12 people coming today and 17 people coming tomorrow apparently, but I thought I'd just show you this quickly because the girls are in our room at the moment. So this is what an empty room looks like. So it's very basic but clean and has everything you need. So mats on the floor, mosquito nets, and that's pretty much it. You are very much sleeping outside. There is no door. There is a corrugated roof, which when it rains, let me tell you, makes quite a lot of noise. But it was fine. And yeah, like it's very, very airy. Obviously no electricity in the tents or anything like that, but you don't really need it. You're in nature. And this is just so cool. So it's just like decking over basically a swamp. This is just set back from the lake. I believe when it's really dry, this is just earth, like it's just forest earth, but because we have had quite a bit of rain, it's a little bit waterlogged, but not too bad at the moment. Now, 2 things to consider here. Obviously, there are lots of mozzies, so DEET, the full-on jungle spray, is really, really important, and I am actually wearing shorts at the moment, but most of the time I've been wearing long trousers as well. And they do believe that in the wet season crocodiles can get here. They don't in the dry season, I don't think, because we are separate enough from the river, but they are in the river, so it's very important not to go swimming in the river. So yeah, hopefully we don't spot any crocodiles. They are probably my #1 fear. I haven't seen any so far. Apparently today the river water was too high to see them, which I wasn't that disappointed about. I've seen crocodiles plenty of times. I was in the Northern Territory in Australia for a while, so I saw plenty of big crocodiles there, but that is also where I learned how dangerous they can be. And lastly, there is a bit more construction going on here, but I am just walking towards the toilet block. Pretty standard. These are just toilets with a toilet seat. Again, the flushing is by bucket and another bucket. But at the moment 2 of the toilets are actually out of order just because of the flooding, so they're still working to get them sorted. So we were told that there are 2 main types of camp pests and that is the monkey mafia, which is a group of monkeys who I haven't actually seen much of, but apparently they are very much present and they will go into tents and steal things if they are left there. So that's why we are advised to lock away all like valuables and also toiletries, which I'll get to in a minute. And the second main pest is mice and rats. They like toiletries and any food. They will go into tents if they can smell food, but also like toothpaste, shower gel, even like sun cream, things like that, and they will chew through backpacks, so it's really important not to leave any of those items in your backpack. Other than that, they do have a lot of creepy crawlies, so a lot of spiders, a lot of insects, but nothing too dangerous. There are snakes and there are venomous snakes, but they very, very rarely see them. So while Borneo does have a lot of venomous snakes, like it's, you know, it's a tropical rainforest like most do, humans do very rarely see them because they usually live like in the thick of the jungle away from any other humans really. Alright, now I'm gonna head back to the hut. My camera needs a bit of a charge and I'm gonna find somewhere to rest for a little bit before our next tour. We're on boat trip 2 or 3, depending if you count our 5-minute boat trip last night. So we're gonna do a couple of hours now, I think, and it is 5 p.m, so it will get dark while we're out, and hopefully that means we'll see animals sort of coming out to the river and settling in for the night. Fingers crossed.
Steamed rice, we have chicken, black soya sauce. Okay, we have pumpkin, and then we have eggplant curry. Eggplant curry. You really like it?
Oh,
yes. I didn't want this to test.
That was really good.
Is it spicy or not? I don't know.
No, it wasn't spicy.
Is it not spicy?
No.
Okay.
Like
cabbage.
Yeah.
This watermelon, right?
Yeah.
Who was this watermelon here?
Watermelon.
Pineapple and watermelon, okay? Let's say. Thank you.
That looks good though.
Water spinach, yeah? Yeah. And then
Watermelon.
cabbage, okay?
Cabbage.
And also the last one.
Watermelon. Pineapple.
That was it.
The last one is
Pineapple.
instant noodle. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I checked the food. Sorry, I think that's it.
What about this one?
Extra rice. I think
So our last activity of the day is going for a night walk around the jungle. We're just practicing locating bugs with a torch on the football field. And basically if you hold a specific type of torch up to your nose, you can see these like glimmers like diamonds, and you walk towards them and there's spiders. So it's how our guide locates the spiders basically. We've all been practicing, it's great fun. But I think we are actually heading out into the jungle now.
Here is definitely one.
Is that a frog?
No, it's a small spider.
And then after they spray the acid, you feel very, very itchy and connect all your body. Itchy all your body. Watch out, don't touch this tree. And
Just very long leg you've ever seen.
fire hand here. The colorful and the nut, and then the nose look like a trunk from the elephant, and they can fly. This is the larva for the lantern bug.
Just arrived back to the cabin and I put my bikini on the washing line we have out here earlier, and in the meantime while we were on the boat it did rain a little bit, not as bad as it did yesterday but it did a bit, and now basically to get to my bikini to take it down, generator's just gone off. The generator just went off, so I'm just lighting my face up with my torch and I'm dazzling myself a bit, so let's make this quick. So in the meantime, it had gotten really boggy, and I don't want to go in there because there may well be leeches in there, so I've got to hope that the water level goes down again before the morning so I can rescue my bikini top. This is pretty eerie, I'm not gonna lie. Ooh. So the night walk was really good, but now I am in pitch darkness back at the hut on my own because all of the girls were staying and having a drink, and the generator's just gone out earlier than we thought it would, so now I'm just in this hut pitch black. Ooh. Anyway, I'm gonna get in my bed and in my mosquito net. Bugs are flying in my face. Yeah, I'm gonna get in my bed, in my mosquito net, and try and sleep, I think. We are out on our last boat trip of the trip, so fingers crossed we'll see some orangutans. This is like 1 to 2 hour long boat trip. We did actually pay an extra just because we haven't seen an orangutan yet, just to give us as much chance as possible to spot them. So fingers crossed. We saw an orangutan. Actually, I think we saw like three orangutans, was it? We saw 3 orangutans. Oh, incredible. There is nothing like seeing them in the wild. But now, sadly, we are leaving Uncle Tan's and we're heading back to, not the mainland, we're already on the mainland, but back to the city. Back to Kota Kinabalu, actually, because we're heading back to Sepalok, Sandakan Airport, and then Kota Kinabalu. So we've got to load this boat up and then let's go. We loved our time at Uncle Tan's, and I'd recommend anyone who's in the Kinabatangan area to visit. I'll put the details in the description. However, when I was in the area, I was really sad to hear about how much habitat orangutans have lost and how endangered they are these days. So I'm going to donate 20% of my ad revenue on this video to the Sepalok Orangutan Rehabilitation Centre so they can keep up their amazing work. I'll put information about them in the description too. Thanks so much for watching this video. Hope to see you next time where we'll be checking out a Maldives style overwater resort that's still in Borneo.